Hi, I'm Sturdy McKee, and I'm here with Linda Boryski of Saskatoon PhysioYoga. And Linda, why don't you just tell us a little bit about your business and yourself and when you got started?
Sure. Um, uh, in 2016, I opened my doors January 4th, and I had the vision of, or at the time I was practicing, I was doing a combination of physiotherapy and combined that with medical yoga therapy too. And so it was that I felt I needed a unique space in order to practice those two pathways. So I opened in January of 2016. And at that time, I'd already been a physio for about 17 years. So
Cool, cool. So when you're a small group coaching client of mine. We've been working together about 16 months or so at this point. You're just about ready to graduate. What were you thinking? Like, what was your mindset? Where was your head at, like 18 months ago, year and a half, 2 years ago, um, around yourself and your business?
sure. A year and a half ago, I knew wasn't thriving. I knew that what I was looking for was a being able to do what I wanted to do, but with more ease than what I was experiencing. And I knew I wanted to be better, but I really didn't have the first clue in how to do that. So there was a drive of, there was a fear-driven drive, but also a hopeful drive in that I knew and I wanted to be better and just wanted to find the right circumstances and the right people to work with in order to help me achieve that.
So the kind of combination of the hope and the fear were the things that kind of triggered you to take action.
Yeah, pretty strong drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did you do around that time? You did a number of things, right?
At the start when we started working together?
Yeah, or even before that. What did you do
Or
to
prior
take
to that?
action? Yeah, sure.
I had joined, I started to learn, that was the number one thing, and learn from other clinic owners. And most of those were US-based clinic owners that I had met and networked with through other groups and some marketing groups. And so I knew that there were resources out there, and I knew that there were clinic owners out there having what looked like some really great successes. So
Sure.
that's kind of where the hope came from. And then it was through that's kind of said, you know what, there's power in these numbers, and if other people can do it, then I can do it too.
Cool. So what was the biggest thing that you did around that time or since then that's had an impact on your business, positive impact?
The biggest thing that I did was not only I listened to you, but I executed on many of the things that you suggested I do. And that was a lot of work and some soul searching work at times, and had to take some hard looks in the mirror. And but you know, all of the work that we did, it was just so well-rounded. It was really encompassing of the entire business experience. You know, it wasn't just a marketing group. It was learning about cash flow and how to look at numbers and understand those numbers, and then use those numbers to help solve some problems. It was looking at vision and creating a vision and getting really clear on what I wanted. It was learning about finding further on that what I wanted, but I also had to look at the type of people that I wanted working for me and with me on my team. And so then there was a nice positive change in recruitment and the face of my team, and some strategy stuff too. So it's been this just really nice, well-rounded experience, and I'm really happy and grateful for the foundation that I've built.
Well, you've done some great work. I mean, you deserve a ton of credit for the effort and the work that you put in to make these things real in your business as well. So just congratulations and kudos to you for that. Um,
Thanks.
sure. So what's happening in your life now? I mean, how would you compare to like a year and a half ago?
Um, well, I have to look. Everything that the way that I treat in my business, the way I treat my clients is I try to look holistically. So I look holistically at my whole life too.
Mhm.
And you know what? I'm sleeping again. So my own personal
Good.
health. Yeah, exactly. I think right before I signed up with you, I caught pneumonia, and I've never been sick in a day in my life, but it was kind of like that was a pretty good sign that things weren't really very balanced in my world. So got to take a good hard look at all of those things kind of outside the business and with me personally. So I'm sleeping better. I have that sense of ease and that greater sense of calm, both when I look at my business, but kind of just hanging out in the rest of my life too. So life outside of work has improved significantly, but that sense of ease within my business is absolutely amazing. I've got a very small team, but they're stellar. And, you know, it was me getting clear on the type of business that I wanted to run and the things that were important to me, and then finding people to match that and support that. So within the business, I enjoy being there and I enjoy hanging out with the people who work for us at Saskatoon PhysioYoga, and they're just really top drawer people. So as for numbers and growth within my business, prior to hanging out with you and doing your work, Sturdy, I was probably at about chucking along at about 70% capacity. So I had one clinician who we were just generating enough revenue to cover his expenses. And there wasn't a whole lot left over. I am now gone from probably about 70% capacity to about 98% capacity.
That's awesome.
So that's pretty great. And in different areas too. I offer classes. So my classes have grown. I've started offering more classes than I ever had before. And then the PT side of things, the one-on-one treatment side has grown. So between those two now we're trucking along at about 98% capacity, and that feels pretty great.
That's awesome. Yeah, that is. It is. So if you were talking to somebody who's kind of, you know, they're still watching this, right? They're looking at this. Um, they're probably resonating or identifying with some of the stuff you had said about where you were before. What would you recommend that they do at this stage?
Be prepared to do some work. You know, we can read all the books and watch all the webinars and listen to all the podcasts we want, but until we grab hold of something and actually implement it, nothing's going to change. I made a vow to myself when I joined on in the small group coaching. I said, nothing else matters anymore. It's Sturdy's way or nothing. And I'm going to invest fully in everything. So I trusted you wholeheartedly right from the start. And there were times that I said, well, that seems odd, or I don't know that would work. But it's important to Sturdy, so I'm going to do it. And every time that I had those doubts, they've turned out to be correct. So
The doubts were
I
correct?
went, what's that?
The doubts were
Without,
correct?
I lost it.
No, you said the doubt that every time you had the doubts, they turned out to be correct. I'm just asking, were the doubts correct or was the?
Oh yeah, okay. No, the doubts were not
Funny.
correct. Sturdy was in fact, and the advice that I was given was correct. So when I had those doubts, then yeah, I didn't need to.
Well,
And
just to be clear too, a lot of the stuff we did was framework things that you adapted, you adopted and implemented, but you adapted to your business. You made them your own. You customized them to fit and gave it your own, voice, flavor, vibe. I mean, and you did again, to your credit, you did a wonderful job with that. You're the one who revamped the job postings, took the things that we had put together and just kind of took it to a whole nother level and got some great results from that.
Yeah, and it's been pretty fun that way too. And some of that was, I had to adapt it because you're in the US and I'm in Canada, and there's sometimes there was things that didn't fit perfectly. So being adaptable and saying, okay, well, this is how I need to change this to work in our market within our healthcare system. And, so if there's anybody out there with doubts saying, can I work with an American coach in a Canadian or any other market, then yeah, with some creativity, just it's principles and it's adapting those to your own situation.
Right. Great. And as I'm looking down, I'm taking notes and looking at notes. I'm not trying to ignore you. So why do you think, we had talked earlier today about change and that type of thing. That's just one idea, but why do you think people should make a change, or should, maybe if they're not super happy with the way things are going right now, what, you've talked a lot about what they should do, but why?
Because the other side is better. How's that? Like, for no other reason. But if you're not happy where things are at now, that can be a temporary thing, or you can live there for a little while longer too. But know that, just as if you were talking to a patient, why should they follow your treatment protocol? Why should they do your exercise? Because you, as the expert, you as the therapist, know that their life can be better. And that's what I think.
Cool.
Things can be better.
Well, thank you so much, Linda. This was awesome. I really, really appreciate it, and hope this was helpful to some of the people watching.
Yeah, I hope so too. Thanks, Sturdy.
Thank you.